Hi, everyone. I am really sorry. I'm actually in a conference all weekend. It's a virtual conference. And what happened was I forgot what day of the week it was. And instead of going live on Thursday, I'm live here today because I did not want to miss the topic of your energy and fertility. And what do the two things have in common? This is a really, really important topic. And I hope to kind of instill a concept for you to start thinking about. What does your energy have to do with your fertility potential? So if you're new to the Facebook group and you are new to this series, what we are doing is we are going through this handout. This is the 9 markers of health. If you want this handout, just comment health in the comments, whether you're watching this live, watching it on replay, whenever you watch it, just comment the words health and I'll get this handout to you. But the point is, the most common question that I get asked is how can I support my fertility naturally? Okay, what can I do to support my fertility naturally? And I'm going to show you. These are the 9 steps that we need to assess. These are the 9 things that I assess in my patients in order to help me understand where their fertility is potentially not as good as it should be. Because, and this is the concept that I teach, okay? This is the concept that I'm spreading in the world and this I work with my patients is, let me just find my pen here, is that your health is directly correlated with your fertility, okay? And so when you say, I'm perfectly healthy, but I can't get pregnant, that means we're missing something. Okay, because those two things don't go in the same sentence. You cannot be perfectly healthy and not be able to get pregnant or stay pregnant. And you have to understand that health is a spectrum. So if disease is on this side and health is on this side, when your doctor is saying that everything looks normal, it doesn't mean, and you still have symptoms. First of all, it means that the lab results that he have found do look normal. They might be not in the optimal range, which means you might be closer to here than you are to here. And the other thing is, how many things is your doctor actually testing? Is he only testing blood work? And is he only or she only testing 10 things on that blood work versus 20 versus 30 versus 50? There's so many things that we can test. And obviously the point is not to just test everything and anything. The point is to figure out what your body is trying to tell you. What symptoms do you have that maybe you are just used to having and you think they are now normal? So common isn't normal. Just because everyone around you is tired, just because everyone around you is having a hard time losing weight or has acne or is, depressed, anxious, whatever, that doesn't mean it's normal. Okay. And the big thing that I'm really trying to teach and push and switch in kind of your mindset, you guys, is that our environment has changed drastically over the last 50 years, but really over the last decade, we're just seeing this tip over effect where we have so many chemicals that are being released into our environment. We have so much stress, obviously the pandemic, and there's so many things that are coming at us, the EMFs, like I said, the toxins, the pesticides, the glyphosates, we have to be aware of what is in our environment that potentially is making us sick. And so the way that I look at my patients and the way that I assess my patients, and I use these markers of health. What's going on with your diet? What's going on with your digestion? Are you drinking enough water? What kind of water are you drinking? What's going on with your mood? Are you moving your body? How stressed are you? So these are all the things that we've already covered. So if you want to go back, go to the guides section, and I have all these videos saved if you want to learn. But remember, the concept here is your health is going to dictate what's going on in your fertility journey. And so if you can't get pregnant and that's the only symptom that you recognize as a symptom, or you can't stay pregnant, then let's look deeper. Let's ask deeper questions as opposed to, help me, there's something external out of me that I need in order to help me ovulate. Your body is such a powerful, powerful machine, and we need to go inwards and ask it deeper question. What could be disrupting my health, and how can I heal and restore from that? So the thing that I'm going to talk today about is energy, and energy is super important when it comes to fertility, because I honestly, energy and vitality, that's what I think about. How vital are you? How vibrant are you? How much the zazazoo, how much zest for life do you have? That's what I think about energy. And let me tell you, if you're exhausted, if you're tired, if you can barely keep your eyes open and you need caffeine or you need something, some sort of stimulation to get you going, and vice versa, if you can't sit still and you feel like you're constantly vibrating, then what is the state of your being, right? Where is that coming from? So there's kind of these two spectrums, and I want to talk about both of them really quick. And the frustrations and the mistakes that I see that people make when it comes to energy and fertility is that we kind of just disregard it and we look at it on this day-to-day basis. Do I have energy today? Great. I'm going to do these things. Oh, I don't have energy today. I'm just going to use caffeine or use whatever. Or maybe you rest and you do that. But I want to teach you about energy as a long-term, like more vitality, how much vitality and zest you have for life. Because that's the thing, you guys, that's the thing that you're going to be able to pass on or not pass on to your future generation. So the concept that I really like to use is from traditional Chinese medicine, because the way that they look at energy, the way that they look at vitality is really your essence. Okay. And I'm going to draw this. Let's say this is your energy that you have for the day. And your essence is this thing in the middle. This is like, you know, the core, the drive, the thing that you were born with. Whereas, and we can deplete that. We can deplete that with lots of things, over exercising, not moving our body enough, eating too much, not eating enough. It's all, the body is all about balance. But what I want you to think about and do kind of a mental check is how much energy is going out on a daily basis. And what are some of the things that you feel gets your energy out? And because for all of us, it's different, right? Like there's things like, sure, working out is energy out, going to work is energy out. But then there's certain types of people that drain you a little bit more. There's certain types of situations and relationships. And so what I want you to do is just write down 4 or 5 things that come to mind as soon as I say, what are the things that take energy out? And then I want you to write down 4 or 5 things that you feel bring energy in. And I need you to literally feel that those things are bringing energy in, because the things on the list can be sleep, it can be food, it can be certain relationships, it could be playing with your dog, it could be just resting and reading a book, but write those things down. And then I want to know, how balanced is it? The energy in and the energy out, is it balanced? Because if the energy in is low, right, and the energy out is high, where our teeter-totter is not very balanced. And now this circle starts to get smaller and smaller, and we're depleting this essence. We're depleting this essence. And the essence in the middle is like this zest for life, your motivation to keep going and moving forward and, you know, living on this planet and having the human experience, if you will. But this is what you are going to need to grow a baby. Okay, that's what you need. This is, and not even to grow a baby, but that's what your baby is going to use. As females, we pass on our essence. It takes, I've said this multiple times, and again, go back and listen to some of the content, but pregnancy is the most stressful thing that the female body will ever do. It is a stress on the body. It's really hard. It takes a lot of resources. It takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of nutrients to grow a human. And so we want to be respectful of the amount of, and that's why most women get tired when they're pregnant, right? Especially in that first trimester, especially when you're sick and you don't have a lot of desire to eat things. And then that appetite goes up and you eat more because it takes a lot of energy. And so if we're coming into pregnancy in a state of depletion, it's not that a pregnancy might not occur, and it might not occur because we're depleted, but it's that you might struggle through the pregnancy. If you're going to get really sick during that first trimester, and this was my experience, I didn't think I had any depletions, but when I got pregnant for that first time, and I was super sick up to 20 weeks, now I didn't need medication, but to me, I didn't expect it, right? I didn't expect to be as sick as I was. And so this is when my research started in terms of coming into the fertility space and thinking, hey, is there something that we can do different to prepare our bodies for this big, gigantic thing it's going to do for 10 months, right? So we're pregnant for 10 months, not 9. And then give birth, labor, which is a super depleting process, depending on how long your labor is. And then you have this baby to take care of that you've never done before. And it doesn't, you need to feed it. You need to be able to feed it and produce milk, or figure out another way if that's not, which could be a lot of stress on the body. You're not sleeping as much because obviously the baby is not sleeping. You might be stressing and worrying. So you have to understand that the primary goal is to get you as healthy as possible, as vital as possible before you get pregnant. And restoring that energy and that vitality might take time, depending on where you are. So if I take you back to this, just what I wrote, and I don't think it's going to save that for me, unfortunately, but if you do your homework, right, and you tell me, write it down, how much energy out and how much energy in, and is it a balanced scale? Is there a balance, or are you tipped in one direction? And I'm telling you, very few people have too much energy going out. And the thought process that I forgot to finish is, for example, when you eat food and you don't feel energy coming in through the foods that you eat, we have to look at, are you digesting your foods? Or what is your diet? Is your diet beneficial to you, right? So as you see, all of these things are connected, and we're not just going to look at one piece and say, oh, my energy is low and has nothing to do with anything else. Because it could be as simple as we need to fix your digestion and improve your nutrition, but maybe we just need to drink more water, and maybe we need to move your body more, and maybe there is something with your menstrual cycle that we need to do. To eat more with your menstrual cycle and conserve your energy during certain times of the cycle and use it up at other times. And so that's going to be a lecture for another time. But your homework is to really draw this out and tell me, what is the most kind of interesting thing that you learn? I want you to get used to commenting. And if the goal of this group is to create a group of community of women who want to improve their fertility, and they want to understand, they want to learn about their fertility. They want to feel confident in their body and in control of their health, because that's going to transfer feeling more confident and in control of your fertility journey. So the way that we do that is prepare ourselves and understand and learn how our body works, get it into its optimal state, because pregnancy is a natural process. So when it's not happening, or when we're not sustaining it, something is preventing the body from being able to do that. And so I ask you to ask yourself those deeper questions and to say, what's going on for me, and do this assessment, and tell me in the comments right now, as you're watching, what is the really interesting thing that you learned about this? What was a belief that you had shifted around your energy or vitality? Or maybe you just didn't know at all that your energy had anything to do with fertility. But go ahead and comment, because I'd love to know. I think everybody else in the group would also love to know. And like I said, the space is really, the goal is to design a really safe space where we can share, we can collaborate, we can talk about our struggles, and we can lift each other up, as opposed to bring each other down, right? So this group is very close to my heart. So I am constantly watching it, watching the comments, and making sure that things, the environment and the culture that I'm trying to create is true to that. Last thing, if you want the copy, comment the word health, and I'll get that copy to you. If you need some help with your energy, I want you to comment the word energy, and let's start a chat, and let's get you feeling better. Okay, much love. I hope you enjoyed this lecture, and I'll see you next week.